and Lucas pulled that one out.
So we have a Missouri turf war. Both of these players from locally here in Missouri. So, and Nathan is on a deck I don't think we've seen really on camera, the aggressive Naya mid-range deck. It's not a blitz deck by any stretch, and it's not as blisteringly fast. We saw
right. He calls it Naya aggro, but you're right. It's not blitz. It's more mid-rangey.
Right. It's popularized by Willie Adel. Did well with it, and it features cards like it starts with Experiment 1, plays things like Boros Reckoner, Voice of Resurgence is big in the deck. Advent of the Womb is in Nathan's deck, and everybody has their own like twists and like their own personal spin on the deck. I can see Call of the Conclave in deck. This deck has Silverblade Paladin. See it with like Lockdown Smiter, Gorpin Rampager. There's a whole bunch of cards like that are very efficient for their cost. Generally lean on the aggressive scale of things. No Thragtusk, no Restoration Angels, no Huntmasters. This deck's trying to get you dead as opposed to play some sort of defensive game. But we're off. Looks like Nathan on the draw, but first to the board with an Experiment 1.
That's a fine start.
Yeah.
Obviously,
it also has a pretty good start for his deck. Mind that he has an Azorius Charm in his hand. He's already bringing that to the front. Nathan has a really good draw for his deck. There's a second copy of Experiment 1 and a Dryad Militant, which will evolve both Experiment 1s.
Yeah, so it looks like that's going to
get Syncopate.
Yeah, David going to
that's a really good Syncopate.
Yeah, it was. You know, Syncopate at its best early on like this, or when somebody taps out for something big, but that's less likely to happen against.
Here's the thing. Yeah, exactly. Like you said, Syncopate is really bad. To get a good use out of that is really big for David.
Right, and you saw. I mean, that was going to be awesome. He's going to have 3 2-power guys on the board. You know, start on turn 2. So David able to keep that from happening.
Wow, really good draw from David.
On his turn, he has Pillar of Flame.
And not only that, but he has an Azorius Charm to set back this Experiment 1 even more. So he is really in the driver's seat.
Yeah, now
Nathan's draw not bad himself. He's got a Boros Reckoner for this turn.
And he's got a Boros Charm as well in his hand.
And a Golcan Rampager.
Okay. So Reckoner comes down. David thinking about it. Does not have a
David has a Dissipate.
He does have a Dissipate.
So if you're wondering about his counterspell suite, 2 each of Syncopate, Dissipate, and a Rewind for fun. This is tough. Like Nathan's draw is really, really, really good.
David is doing a great job of weathering the storm. He's got the cards.
Right, but he's got a bunch of options to use, but he doesn't have enough for everything. So you decide what he wants to prioritize.
Yeah, so it looks like he's... Yeah.
I do like his Azorius Charming here because you are going to devolve, basically. But he looks like he's going to take the damage after thinking about it. Don't like thinking about it so long and not using it.
Yeah. Well, he certainly telegraphed it.
Yeah, you're turning it face up here.
He's going to play a Hallowed Fountain. He's going to play a Snapcaster Mage, Pillar of Flame.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so
to not do it, but don't think for it so long.
Right. So he had a plan in mind. It was just he had to take a minute to come to that plan. So far everything David's done has exiled Nathan's guys. I was like, those should be exiled. Oh wait, all 3 should be exiled. Yes. They are exiled.
So the Boros Reckoner comes and crosses the red zone.
And yeah.
Wow.
Nathan with that window to...
he can't double strike. He doesn't have a second red source.
Yeah.
That would have been That's not a very good channel there. If you could double strike it and deal, 14.
Yeah. Well, that would be
you blood rush the Rampager, double strike the thing.
Yeah.
But I do not like... It has far more value as a 4/4, in my opinion. And... than 4 damage, especially when it's not countering anything.
Yeah, it is very weird. Like we're calling David's deck blue-white red, control, but it's kind of an amalgamation of flash and control. Like he doesn't have. It doesn't seem like so much of a flash deck. I guess it seems more flash than control, though. Only one Supreme Verdict. I guess that's the thing that jumps out at me as being less control oriented. He doesn't, he's got some counter spells, but that's.
Right, and we had him on camera, and we the most unique thing about his deck is that Geist of St. Traff.
Right.
Yeah, so they're figuring out their exile.
Yeah, everything's exiled but the Gore Clan Rampager, and because
they're figuring that out. Yeah.
What is that under the Rampager?
It's an Experiment 1 that should be exiled.
Yes, that's what I thought. Yeah, because both Experiment 1s were pillared, right? And then one was, and then the Militant was syncopated.
So Azorius Charm.
And
okay, so really out of sequencing here.
Yeah, things dissipate. Yeah, I think.
Okay, we need to get all these things situated here. So dissipate. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, still, that Experiment 1 shouldn't be in there though, because it was pillared. Yeah, there we go. Okay.
We've got things straight. So the Dried Militant and the Rampager in the graveyard for Nathan, the Snapcaster, Dissipate, and Syncopate for David.
And the board is once again clear and safe for a Boros Reckoner from Nathan Murray.
Well, it was the one put on top of his deck.
Yeah.
With Azorius Charm.
Right.
So you knew that was coming.
And then another Dissipate, or is that?
Snapcaster, Dissipate. On the return of Boros Reckoner.
I see. Never mind. That's the graveyard, not the exile zone.
The graveyard is the farthest right.
Yeah, that's. Usually, I think of the graveyard as being next to the library. That's why it threw me off there too.
So Restoration Angel from David. This could get a little dicey for David. That is in pretty good control. He's only on 10 life. Nathan has a Boros Charm in hand. Oh, but he's gonna get aggressive.
He is. Snapcaster and Restoration Angel.
He does have a
swinging. Gonna knock Nathan 9.
Oh wow, what a great draw.
Geist of St. Traff.
So I believe Nathan needs to draw something real immediately.
He's got a Voice of Resurgence.
I think he is dead on board.
Yeah.
Well, dead to the Searing Spear in hand.
Yeah, it'll be the Angel and the Angel token will do 7.
And the Searing Spear
will do the last.
Things off, yeah. So wow, quick hitting game. David uses Geist of St. Traff on a clear board and does the work that we wanted Aetherling in his deck, but Geist of St. Traff
sometimes
doing good work. It's much cheaper.
Pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody would argue with you there. It's
when you can clear the board, Geist of St. Traff is one of the best cards you could possibly have. Just blanks all the removal. But it's not very good in the creature-infested world that is standard. David with quite the slow roll here. Maybe playing around a card. I'm trying to think of what kind of card Nathan could have. Other than that, this is...
And here we see the blocking where he's able to block. Everybody in Angels team up to do 7, knocking Nathan to 1 and show him the Searing Spear, and we're going to game 2.
Quick game 1 in favor of David Barani.
After a little bit of confusion there, what was supposed to be exiled, what was supposed to be in the graveyard.
Yeah.
It was a little confusing, but we figured it out, and we're going to game 2. All right, so what are we doing?
Both these players, once again, playing. The winner of this will make top 8.
Yeah. In fact, the winner of this will likely be the first seed, the top seed.
Because this is the this is the highest table that
that didn't draw.
They was not able to draw. So in Nathan's deck, we see plays 3 Volcanic Strength, a lot of disagreement over the effectiveness of that card. It will make Nathan's creatures unblockable a lot of the time, but is very soft to something like Azorius Charm. Cards you will see, probably Boros Charm, both to counter Supreme Verdict and give some reach. Domri Red, even though they don't work well together, and that Domri Red wants almost all creatures. So if the Domri, I would imagine the Domris come in and the Volcanic Strengths do not, just to keep the creature count high in Nathan's deck. As for cuts, I like cutting Searing Spear, not very effective against any of David's creatures.
On David's side, he's got 3 Izzet Staticasters, which could potentially come in and do a lot of work, depending on the state of the game. A lot of the creatures he saw have 1 toughness, at least at some point. The experiment ones.
The experiment ones
will have 1
and the
toughness
Dryad Militants.
And the Dryad Militants, right. He saw a lot of smaller guys.
You also get to
Flash Block.
Force their Stringaroo guys to evolve.
Right.
Or, on die.
Exactly.
Basically evolving.
Right. He's got an additional Pillar of Flame. That's the 4th copy. He's got 3 main. He'll probably bring that in. He's also got 2 copies of Supreme Verdict. I mean, I of course feel like it's a creature deck. You want a lot of Supreme Verdict. So, but maybe he feels like that's too slow. I don't know what.
Nathan's deck is resilient. To Supreme Verdict, but it still is a mono creature deck basically.
Yeah. So it seems like Verdict would be pretty good. And then he's as far as cuts. He's got some counter spells that I don't think.
Yeah, he was able to get the use out of his counter spells that game.
Yeah,
for sure. But I don't think
you don't keep the rewind and
I don't like the syncopate, especially on the draw.
Maybe even cutting the dissipates. He's got 5 counter spells main that he can just cut out if he wants to make room for the 3 Staticasters and the Pillar and 1 Verdict. He needs to make 1 more cut for the other Verdict. Could probably just maybe even I'm trying to think of what I would cut for that other Verdict or the 4th Pillar. Maybe Izzet Charm.
The other option, if you want, depends on what kind of role he sees himself, you could see cutting Geist of Saint-Draft.
I mean,
if he wants to go to basically an actual mono removal deck.
Right, he would be very much more in the control role at that point. He is going to be on the draw here.
It'd be like 20 plus removal spells, 4 Restoration Angel, 4 Snapcaster Mage, and 3 Sphinx's Revelation. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, then that's a control deck.
That's pretty much your definition of an old school Flash deck, if you want to go to that. I mean, he's definitely got some different card choices that really changed the tone of his deck. Geist of Saint-Draft being one of them. Just like counter spells, and no think twices, only 24 lands. Like make a sleeker deck.
Yeah.
But he still has a lot of flash elements, a lot of control elements in his deck.
He's got a Runechanter's Pike in the board. Just
I'm not sure what kind of matchups he wants.
Right. It's an interesting card. It looks like he's smiling about his opener there. And leads with a Steam Vents after Nathan's turn 1 Rootbound Crag. Here in game 2 of the final round of Swiss at the StarCityGames.com Open Series here in St. Louis. He is currently missing white mana.
Yeah, I do not think.
Strangleroot Geist, though, doesn't care about that. It's going to come in for 2.
It's got a friend, I believe. It is not a promo version,
but it is a buddy. Yeah.
It still is a 2/1 Undying Haster.
Yep. David with a Clifftop Retreat, pass back.
Domri.
And there's a Domri, yeah. So
he's gonna go Dryad Militant.
Yeah.
I believe Rancor. It's also there's a Rancor.
And Rancor on the Geist here, and
that's really big play for
response,
David. So no, the Rancor fizzles.
Yeah, the Rancor doesn't go back to your hand. It never hits the guy.
Everybody but Nathan put the Rancor in the graveyard.
Yeah.
Directors were on top of it too. David was also on top of it.
Yep. Well, I mean, that was kind of the point of it.
Yeah.
Countered the
However, David does have Azorius Charm, as his other removal spell.
Mm-hmm.
So that is not very good against either of his creatures. The Dry Militant being so cheap, and the String Root Geist have it
being able to reset pretty much, and cheap and haste, So David, trying to decide how he wants to play this, decides to put his Hallowed Fountain to play tap.
Pass.
And here comes Geist number 2.
Still no white mana, so this is actually, if you're David, you want to Azorius Charm something, just to make him redraw something. Okay, so instead, David's going to play Ambush Viper and block the Dryad Militant and not the String Root Geist.
So David down to a pretty low life total, considering his opponent is a little choked on mana.
Yeah, String Root Geist is one of the best cards at getting your opponent to 10. It's excellent. Get them in. String Root Geist softens people up.
Right.
Nobody loses to just String Root Geist, but it really softens up opponents for cards that come later. And if that is not a good card for David.
Not where he wants to be right now, because Nathan does not care. I mean, are you just playing a Gray Ogre, or are you just not going to block?
Nathan really needs to attack first before he plays his Domri.
That's what he's going to do.
So he's just going to take it. Wow. David's got to know something we don't. But here comes Domri. Nathan draws a 3rd land, but it's still a red-green land, not a white land.
Domri going to whiff.
+1 and misses. So to imagine Domri is going to be taken out from this. I'm trying to think of what kind of cards David has to make playing a Geist. He has to know he's at 5. I would imagine War Leader's Helix, one of the few cards.
Yeah, he does have 2 mains, so maybe that could be something.
Yeah, that's one of the...
you think, he attacks, kills Domri. Verdict doesn't leave him in a good situation because he's facing down a 3-powered Geist.
Right.
He does have Lifelink on Azorius Charm as an option. We do know that he has Azorius Charm in hand, and that's
not a bad option. That's gain 6, but I don't think he can afford to be racing.
Yeah, he's going to play a Steam Vents tapped.
I guess if he Lifelinks on Azorius Charm and Mizium Mortars here, he's only taking 2.
Yeah, that looks like the plan. So he Mizium Mortars the big Geist.
Okay,
then Geist of St. Traft attacks. He's going to go ahead and Azorius Charm, gaining
6 life.
Yeah, gaining 6.
Put him up to a much more comfortable 11.
Right, and then he's going to end up taking 2 from the.
So Nathan's going to drop to 14. His Domri dies.
Gone. Yeah.
But more importantly for Nathan, that's the happiest miss I think Nathan's ever seen, because he sees Sun Petal Grove on top of his deck, turns on his entire hand.
Yeah.
Voice of Resurgence, Locksmith Smiter, Advent of the Worm.
Yeah, Nathan's
now
pretty good now. In pretty good shape as far as mana now.
Yeah, I don't know which one's the one to play. I think it's Advent of the Worm. Simply because Voice does not play around Pillar very well. Well, he's going for Voice.
I think he's basically making himself very resilient to Wrath effects, because obviously a Verdict here leaves him with a 2/2 and a 3/2. So Verdict does very little.
Yeah, and Azorius Charm would be good against Advent of the Worm. I think Locksmith Smiter is the very hedge play. I also like Advent of the Worm. If Nathan draws another white source, he could then play Smiter and Voice of Resurgence in the same turn, and that would be a really powerful play. Back to David, up a game.
Yeah, down to 9 after that hit from the Strangleroot Geist.
The thing is, David likes to cast. He has a ton of instants in his deck. He's going to be casting them mostly on his own turn.
Wow, so he swings in with the Geist, and of course Angel Token comes down and
so knocks Nathan to 10. But we have a Elemental Token. Oh man, there's another Sun Petal Grove. So if he had played Advent of the Worm, he could be playing both of his creatures.
Right.
That's right.
There's Smiter. Of course, doesn't have haste, but can't be countered, so...
Yeah, and it kind of has, kind of haste because it makes the Elemental bigger.
Right.
Yes.
So, that's gonna knock... And David can't find an answer, so... Wonder what I saw it dissipate. I didn't see what else
in
was
his
in it.
hand.
He's looking. What?
I'm not sure what his.
Was I going to find anything?
I'm not sure what his game plan there was with that Geist-Insane trap.
He had this weird kind of sort of aggressive, sort of defensive thing like going on. I mean, that's the story of his deck. It's sort of aggressive, sort of defensive, but like.
Well, he just traded off his Geist-Insane trap for the Voice of Resurgence.
Yeah.
I'm not sure like what he was trying to put together there.
Yeah, I almost feel like. What was going on there, because he actually upgraded the voice to it. So, well, it ended up being a 3/3.
But he didn't downgrade it either. But yeah.
Right. I mean, if Nathan had been at 4, that would have made a lot more sense.
We've been at, like, not 14.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it knocked him to 10.
Knocked him only to 10.
And then you didn't really have any defense.
It's one thing if he's going to try and, draw some burn spells off the top and just leave Domare alone. That'll leave him at 6 or whatever and leave him drawing some burn spells. But we're going to a third game here.
Yeah, it seemed like he kept shifting gears there a little bit. I mean, he had to be defensive early on because despite Nathan's lack of white mana, he had...
He still plays.
Yeah, he had guys that could
by the time he was absolutely out of things to do.
Yeah.
With only 10, red and green, he drew his white mana.
Right, and his
Nathan never passed on a turn. After turn 2, he played Strangleroot Guys, then Dried Militant plus Rancor.
Right, and then
Strangleroot Guys, then Domare.
Yep.
And then the turn after that's when he had his white mana.
Exactly.
So he did have options, but he still had plays.
Right.
He had options once he had the white mana, but yeah. So, I mean, Nathan's draw is, like, good enough to put enough pressure on David. And, like, David kind of threw away cards. He played a Snapcaster for no value.
Yeah, just Ambush Viper.
Right. He was always charmed because he had to gain 6 life.
He needed to deal with the Militant or else Snapcaster was an Ambush Viper anyway.
Yes. Yes. One of the appeals of Dried Militant.
Right.
It's a 2/1, not super exciting, but acceptable.
I mean, it's Savannah Lions, right? I mean, sort of.
Savannah Lions is no longer what it used to be.
No. Unfortunately for Savannah Lions, but
no.
Yeah, I don't know that David would have come away with a win in that game, but I feel like there were some things he may have done differently to buy himself a few more turns to potentially pull it out. Then again, I don't know how he boarded. Maybe he, you know, looking at it, he had like a Dissipate in hand is the only thing I saw at the end of that game. Obviously, Dissipate not going to do anything.
So, Steam Vents for David tapped. Untapped Temple Garden enables Dried Militant. So, it looks like Nathan's hand's really good. I see Voice. Yeah, so
David immediately pillars the...
right, and Pillar does get exiled.
Right.
It's where destroy effects go to the graveyard. Damage-based effects get exiled with Dried Militant. It has to do with state-based effects and stuff.
Looks like another pillar there for David, and of course we're going to see that happen right here on the Voice. And Steam Vents and pass. So David keeping the board clear. Strangleroot Geist.
Got any more pillars?
Yeah. Be nice.
I mean, this is very much a pillar overload deck.
Yeah. Did he just draw pillar? I think he just drew pillar.
I think it's Mizium. Nope, it's pillar.
He has Mizium Mortars too, but he just drew pillar. He kept in at least one as a charm. But yeah. David still keeping the board clear with
oh, this is going to be a savage is it charm.
Did he draw Snapcaster? I don't know. I mean, I don't think
this is going to be savage. Advent of the Worm comes from Nathan, and again, is it charmed? No. Wow. That is discipline.
Yes, I don't know how he... that seemed like the best... If he forgot to cast that there? I don't know.
That is... That is crazy discipline from Nathan if he's trying to play around Izzet Charm.
Yeah, I can't imagine he's playing around Izzet Charm. He hasn't seen it, has he?
Yeah, or just counter spells in general.
Yeah. Maybe just waiting
he's
until...
seen like Syncopate, Dissipate.
Yeah.
Nope, he just wants it on this turn.
Yeah, and so...
I think he just forgot, yeah.
Is it good?
Nope.
Izzet Charm.
Savage Izzet Charm. I believe that is a Searing Spear from Nathan, the FNM version.
Yeah. think you're right.
And to go with a Boros charm.
Yeah, he's got a lot of burn, and
well, David's got a lot of burn if you like Pillar of Flame.
yeah. So here comes a Snapcaster. I think this is a main phase Snapcaster here.
Yeah, to get the Pillar of Flame. Nope, he just wants a Izzet charm. Yeah, he should. Boros charm is going to make indestructible. His one guy indestructible.
Another land, and we're going to see Searing Spear for the Snapcaster Mage. Yeah. What is that? Oh, Searing Spear.
Yeah,
okay, so Silverblade Paladin gets in for 2.
Yeah, the most embarrassing is Silverblade Paladins.
But he was indestructible for like a minute there.
That was not.
That was exciting.
That was less embarrassing.
Yeah.
But hey, guess what? Pillar of Flame.
Wow.
Stringergeist off the top.
We've already seen it.
That might have been a really big mistake from David.
Right, to pillar the Grey Ogre.
Yeah, because he wants to pillar this.
Yeah, and now he's.
The flip side is David does want to get Snapcaster into play.
Yeah.
And start attacking, and he is 1 land away from Turn and Burn. Now he just drew it. But I feel like Turn and Burn is a pretty good answer to any creature that can be targeted.
Yeah, it just seems like so expensive. Like like doing that to a Thragtusk, or like a Sire of Insanity, or like Angel. That feels good. Yeah, Turn and Burn. You're like Strangler guys, Turn and Burn.
And it did the job.
It did the job. To feel bad, so
yeah.
You know, you're like, yeah, I guess. It does. It does.
Also,
do
David,
the job.
to answer our question, David did bring in Staticaster.
Okay. I thought he would.
Yeah.
Nathan with just a never-ending stream of guys, and David's gonna Revelation for 2 with a Boros Reckoner. Apparently either on the stack or on the board, either way. I think it's hitting the board if it's not.
Nathan actually not all that threat heavy.
He seems to be top decking a threat after threat, but David's able to like 1-for-1 him every time. There's another Turn and Burn, yeah.
Right. The turn makes it so that the Boros Reckoner does not redirect any damage.
I love that Snapcaster's like over there hiding behind Nathan's graveyard, like,
yeah.
Haha, got you! And just, I guess that's in play.
Is it Staticaster in David's hand now?
Yeah, I think you said you saw it earlier.
So that should take care of the Dryad Militant.
Yeah.
So David...
Probably just going to do it main phase just so we can get in with his Snapcaster.
Yes, I agree with that.
He's also got a Restoration Angel there.
2 of them. So his hand's quite loaded, whereas David's behind on... Oh, wow.
Look at that, no block.
Nice
I think now you just passed, yeah. Nathan, I guess, really just wants a threat on the table, so doesn't want to just trade with that Snapcaster. And, yeah, Dryad Militant swings in, Restoration Angel.
Doesn't even want to block. So he just burns the Dryad Militant, and Nathan draws his 9th land. Not where he wants to be. He's already quite far behind.
Yeah, now the tag team of Snapcaster Mage Restoration Angel knock Nathan to 5, lethal on board, and a Boros Reckoner.
Not gonna do it.
Yeah, it's gonna be not gonna be enough because we know there's another Restoration Angel.
No, there's literally every card in David's hand.
If only, yeah, I'm gonna.
Helix, you.
Yeah.
And there's the handshake from Nathan. And David Barani wins his match 2-1. He is going to advance to top 8, likely be our top seed.
Yeah. After all that lost on camera earlier to a jump deck.
We've seen his only loss on camera.
Yeah, exactly.
He's won every other round.
Yeah, so
good for him.
And you saw how that deck kind of came together. It seemed like he had a focused plan there, and he had the cards, the right cards. He had
the cards
Pillars
first.
and Snapcaster.